The New Orleans Saints have a new head coach. Dennis Allen will be the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints. And joining me to break it all down, Ross Jackson from Locked On Saints. We are in LA for the Super Bowl, a place neither team that we cover was able to make it. Dennis Allen was a name that you and I talked about when we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we found out Sean Payton was stepping away. Why Dennis Allen here?
I think if you look at what General Manager Mickey Loomis has talked about from the very beginning, it's been about maintaining cohesion, maintaining culture. They wanted somebody with head coaching experience and that understood the culture of the New Orleans Saints. Dennis Allen checks all of those boxes. And he had the biggest audition out of any of the other guys that got the opportunity to interview. Eric Bieniemy might have done 8 hours with the New Orleans Saints in his interview, but he didn't shut out the reigning the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on national television in place of Sean Payton. So I think when you look at Dennis Allen, he was a front runner all along, and there were a lot of different elements that went into this decision, not the least of which being his familiarity with the team and roster.
I understand that the NFL has a protocol in place when it comes to trying to make this process as fair for everyone as possible. A lot of people, including Brian Flores, do not think that system is equitable enough. Right. How do you think a hiring like this affects both the perception and the mechanics of NFL head coaching hiring practices?
I think that NFL head coaching hiring practices are not in any sense of the word equitable at all when it comes to minority candidates. I also think that we have to look at hiring head coaches in two different ways: promoting internal candidates and reaching out to external candidates. And if the plan from the very beginning is to promote an internal candidate, then let's not waste anybody's time here, right? But if we're really going to look at external candidates and you're going to do a full-on intensive, expansive coaching search, then we have to make sure that we have the people that are making the decisions in the right place from the right place. And you and I discussed on Locked On Today not too long ago this idea around how Brian Flores in his 59-page complaint listed out some of the suggestions about how to improve this. And some of it is, let us solve your problem, right?
Right.
And it's not always great to go about it that way, but in the NFL, considering that we've been at it this long and they haven't been able to solve the problem themselves, it's time to start stepping aside and making the open lane so that the people that can solve the problems will solve the problems.
How do you think, back to the Saints part of this, how do you think this affects offensively what the Saints are moving forward? Because Sean Payton, he was the guy. He was the engine of this offense for a long, long time. Even with Drew Brees, we don't know the future of the quarterback position for the New Orleans Saints, and now we don't know the future of the offense either.
Yeah, the offensive triumvirate in New Orleans has only one remaining piece. It was Drew Brees, it was Sean Payton, and it was offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael. The difference is that Sean Payton called all the plays, with the exception of a couple seasons. 2011, Sean Payton had an ACL injury. He got relegated up to the box, so he couldn't call the plays on the sideline. 2012, of course, the Bounty Gate suspension season.
Right.
So Pete Carmichael is the guy now who has to be the one to continue to innovate, create, evolve, and change that offense for whoever that quarterback is going to be. My guess at this point, since the Saints are so interested in maintaining cohesion, Jameis Winston is the guy that makes the most sense to move forward with going into 2022, but we'll see if they can get him to stick around.